All right, what's up? We are live. Cowboys post-game show coming right up for you. Gonna get started, gonna get rolling here in about 1 minute. Just gonna set myself up. If you want to dive in, I suggest that you dive in. We are in here. We are rolling. It is the Cowboys post-game show after week number 3. And boy, oh boy, the Dallas Cowboys get destroyed, absolutely destroyed by the Chicago Bears. Final score 31-14. The Bears kick the Cowboys' ass up and down the field, and I'm here to react to that with you. So make sure that you dive on into this. I want your reactions. I want your takes. I want you to be in this chat so that way we can go through this together. All right. We can go through this together. We can get through anything as Cowboys fans. We've been doing this for 30 plus freaking years, going through the same old stuff. And today you saw the ugliness that is what this Cowboys team will probably be for the duration of the 2025 season. There's nothing, as I'm sitting here in this moment talking to you, nothing that I can glean any hope for, especially when it comes to a particular side of this Cowboys team. And I think we all know what side that is. We're talking about the defense, of course. The defense who just got shredded by the Chicago Bears. The defense who just allowed Caleb Williams to set a career high in passing touchdowns in one single game with 4. A defense who leaves guys wide open. A defense who can't stop the run. A defense who can't generate any pass rush. And the one thing that I will say as I sit here and talk to you guys on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, this beautiful September Sunday, my birthday weekend, by the way. Appreciate all the shout outs on the birthdays. Y'all guys have been the best with the birthday shout outs, but it's been tough. This game was depressing, and the Cowboys had a chance early, but the Cowboys, as I said last week, when they snuck by the Giants in overtime, this Cowboys team is going to have to outscore every team that they face simply because their defense is going to give up a massive amount of points. This defense is not going to put the Cowboys in any favorable position to win. They're just not. They're not going to do that. They don't have the personnel to do that. The scheme by Matt Eberflus, this cover 2 zone scheme, this Tampa-based scheme, is not working with what they have personnel-wise. This is a complete failure from top to bottom. Jerry Jones. I know I harp on Jerry all the time, and I got my Jerry defenders out there defending Jerry left and right for everything that he does. They didn't do anything to improve this team in the offseason. What did they do? Somebody tell me. Okay, they signed what? Jack Sanborn. Okay, cool. What else did they do on the defense? Okay, you made the trade for Micah Parsons, which I still hate. You bring in Kenny Clark. Okay, cool. But you bring in Kenneth Murray. All right, awesome. I mean, you brought in some guys. You didn't bring in necessarily good to great guys, in my opinion. And it's showing right now. And this is a pathetic defense. This defense at one point throughout the game was giving up 10.6 yards per play. 10.6 yards per play. Understand how ridiculous that sounds in the NFL. 10.6 yards per play, giving up a first down per play in the first half to a Chicago Bears team who, quite frankly, hadn't looked anywhere near great prior to this game. So if you have any thoughts, have any comments, get them in on the comment section. We're going to try to go through this game. I'm going to give this about a good solid 20 minutes, maybe less depending, but let's go ahead. Let's dive on in. If you have any thoughts, comments, hit me up. I want to get your opinions in on here. Cowboys fall to the Bears 31-14. Another pathetic showing from the defense. And let's be quite frank, the offense wasn't doing much either. And there's a big reason why they weren't doing much either, because of this moment that happened early on in the game. CeeDee Lamb hurt on a designed run. Carry out of the backfield, gets hurt, gets his ankle rolled up on, leaves the game, tries to come back in the game, can't put any pressure on it. He's out. We'll see how long CD will be out. But that was the first moment of the Schottenheimer era where I openly questioned what the hell he was doing. Why are you putting your wide receiver number one in the backfield, first of all? That should have been a Cavante Turpin play. Andres, my good friend Andres, said that in one of the comments, and I agree with him. It should have been a Cavante Turpin type of play. Instead, you're going to risk CeeDee Lamb in the backfield for what? He didn't even gain anything. It was minimal at most. Got back maybe to the line of scrimmage. Then he gets rolled up on, and then he's out. And then you see the Cowboys offense start to become less and less without CeeDee out there. Yeah, Pickens had an all right game. Pickens also dropped a catch, which led to an interception. By the way, the Cowboys did turn over the ball 4 freaking times in this game. Ugly interception by Dak on 4th down. The Williams big run where he gets stripped on the sideline, which led to a Bears touchdown. And then, of course, at the end, they put in Joe Milton in garbage time, and you saw what Joe Milton did. Looks all right, has a great cannon of an arm, but on that interception, threw it right to a Chicago Bear in the end zone. No Dallas receiver absolutely around. It was a pathetic showing from Dallas. It's a discouraging showing from Dallas. And you're heading into Green Bay next week on Sunday Night Football. Green Bay just lost to the Browns today. I understand that. Tough loss. They probably want that one back, obviously. But they're going to be coming off a loss. You're going to have the return of Micah Parsons at AT&T Stadium. You're going to have all the hype and hoopla and all this crap going on throughout the week, all the questions about Micah. Am I supposed to feel great about the Cowboys playing the Packers next week? Am I supposed to feel great about the Cowboys playing any damn team for the rest of the season? Because what we saw today, man, I fear that this is going to be what we do week after week, recapping a horrendous Cowboys defense. If you have any thoughts, comments, get them in. I know I'm on my soapbox right now, but man, watching that game, especially from the third quarter on, where the Bears ate up 8+ minutes off the clock to start the third. The Bears have a 4th and 5 from the Dallas 5-yard line, a 4th and goal from the 5. They go for it. Caleb Williams rolls out, finds a wide open receiver in the back of the end zone. More wide open. Hooker just left standing, looking clueless as always. And then earlier on in the game, you go to the Bears possession number 3. First play, flea flicker touchdown to Luther Burden for 65 yards. Kaiir Elam bit on the flea flicker, crept up, Burden slipped by him, and then you have Hooker, who's just horrible in pass coverage. He's late. He can't get there. All of a sudden, it's Bears 14-3. And bam, from that moment on, I just knew. I knew this Cowboys team was not going to, I knew they probably weren't going to win this game. Down 14-3, I just had a feeling, man, the Bears are getting whatever the hell they want right now. Dallas, of course, does tie it up. I thought Dak looked pretty surgical on the Cowboys possession number 4. He found Pickens in the corner end zone for 2 yards. Nice little Dak roll left, hits him in the end zone. Touchdown, nice response. You get the 2-point conversion to Tolbert. Bam, nice response. But from that point on, from the 14-14 score on, with 7:57 to go in the second quarter, it was nothing. The Bears ended up scoring the rest of the points. And were the Bears doing anything spectacular? No, they really weren't. They were just taking advantage of the soft zone that the Cowboys were providing. A dump to Swift that goes for big yardage. The middle of the zone, wide open. Bears were hitting reverses, end arounds. Ben Johnson was in his bag, and he took Matt Eberflus to school. It's pathetic. Matt Eberflus, absolutely pathetic. And like I said, back to the original point, Schottenheimer, idiot play. Idiot to put CeeDee Lamb in the backfield like that. Absolutely idiotic. The first questionable thing that he's done for me this season was when he put CeeDee back there. And of course, it's football. You could get hurt on any play, but you're elevating the risk of putting 88 in the backfield, who's already slight of frame, telling him to run the ball and try to maneuver around these defensive linemen and linebackers, and he gets hurt. And that was just the story of the game right there. And from that point on, the Cowboys had really no chance, in my opinion, because when CeeDee left, the offense suffered, the defense is pathetic, and the Cowboys couldn't get anything going. Make sure to like and share this, man. I would appreciate that so much. It's a tough one. I'm here. It's Cowboys therapy session. Probably going to be a lot more of these throughout the season. If you have any comments, get them in. Let's start up top. We got Aaron Ball. Shout out to my guy. Aaron says, the defense is awful. No lack of adjustments. And he says, happy belated birthday, bro. Sorry our Cowboys couldn't get the dub for your birthday. Yeah, man. It was a good birthday, Aaron. Had a great time. Went down to Kingsville with my family. Went to the Javelina game last night. My boy Aiden Ducker was with me. My brother, my son, my niece. Great time, but yeah, Cowboys, pathetic defense. Aiden's in here, co-host, best friend of the Sunday Sports Rush. Aiden says, y'all, talking about the Cowboys, are getting cute using Lamb as a running back. That killed y'all. Felt a tad boisterous in a game Cowboys probably thought they were going to win. Then the Bland injury was exposed big time. Yeah, Bland not being out there obviously hurts. It hurts. But then again, you had Trayvon Diggs get beat deep on a touchdown. Trayvon Diggs, don't forget, he's been getting absolutely destroyed also. He got killed last week in the Giants game. They were owning him in that game, and the Bears decided to attack him to go deep to Roma Dunze for 35 yards and a touchdown. Did Diggs slip? Of course he slipped. Tried to play press, tried to jam up Adunze, but Adunze got a good break on that route. I thought Adunze would have beat Diggs regardless of Diggs slipped. Adunze was already going to the outside, and Diggs was already kind of, losing his balance. Diggs was trying to shade him to the outside, and that's exactly what Adunze wanted on the go route. So Diggs got burned. There was a few times I saw Diggs out there getting worked. And then Diggs gets injured. He doesn't come back in. So we'll see what happens with him. The secondary's in tatters right now. No trust at all in the secondary. And next week, when you have to face Jordan Love and that Packer team coming off a loss, boy, oh boy, that can be quite scary. Aaron says this is giving Mike Nolan vibes. Defense, shake my head. Well, if it's giving Mike Nolan vibes, then I'll ask the question. I'll ask this question. This could be the worst defense the Cowboys have ever had? Could this be? I don't know. So far, it's not great. I mean, Mike Nolan was really bad in 2020. You go back to some of the Marinelli defenses, those were pretty bad. You go way back, and I'm talking Monty Kiffin era defense, that was bad. So, look, Eberflus, 3 games in, not great, obviously. It's gonna, if he touches any of those levels of Nolan, any of those levels of Kiffin, then boy, oh boy, this team could probably be 5-12, maybe 6-11. My preseason prediction was 7-10. It might be under. It might be under. The way the defense is playing, it might absolutely be under. Fred is in here. Fred says DC Forel. Shout out to Fred, always supporting the Cowboys no matter what, even if they suck. I feel you, Fred. Sam's in here. Sam says, our secondary is getting exposed, and the lack of a consistent pass rush is leaving them on an island. Yes, I agree. Let me get to that. Where was the pass rush? Where is it? Where the hell is the Cowboys pass rush? Where, guys? Somebody point to the pass rush, please. Somebody point it out to me to the pass rush, because I'm looking at the stats right now. 0 sacks for the Dallas Cowboys. 0 sacks for the Dallas Cowboys today. Couldn't amount any pressure. Caleb Williams had all time to throw, and he shredded the Cowboys with a career high 4 touchdown passes today. Pathetic. Sam also says the offense didn't do them any favors either, with careless turnovers that flip momentum. Without true edge rushers, yes, we can't sit back in zone. Wow. No way. If you don't have edge rushers, you can't play zone. What? That's a crazy thought. That's a thought that maybe the general manager of this Cowboys team should have had in the offseason, or maybe should have had when he decided to trade, checks notes, your all-pro defensive end. Wow. No way. And that's because Jerry Jones, after the Micah Parsons said, quote, we could scheme up pressure. They could scheme up pressure. Well, they didn't scheme up any pressure. They didn't scheme up jack squat today. 0 freaking sacks. Pathetic, man. Look, I love the Cowboys. You see all the garb right behind me. Freaking Cowboys helmet. My Cowboys backpack from when I was in 3rd grade. The Cowboys flag. Signed Leighton Vander Esch thing. I'm wearing my Emmitt Smith throwback jersey. I am a freaking diehard Cowboys fan. But damn, bro, this team makes me depressed. I hate this team sometimes. I hate them because of how they make us feel on these Sundays when they get their freaking asses kicked. And I have the TV on in front of me right now, looking at Caleb Williams giving a post-game interview. 4 touchdown passes today versus the Cowboys. Ties a career high. Tied, not a career high, ties a career high. Still, Caleb Williams, who hadn't looked great the first 2 games, who's been going under a lot of criticism lately from all the media pundits, makes the Cowboys secondary look like it's JV level. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now as a Cowboy fan. Freaking frustrated because the signs were there that this team was going to be bad, but all the Cowboys blue shades out there, all the Cowboys ass kissers out there didn't want to see the truth. They don't. They think this team's going to be great no matter what. They think it's Super Bowl every year. They want to kiss Jerry Jones' ass every single freaking time. That's why I'm the voice for you guys, man. That's why I'm the voice of reason. That's why I do these things, to try to educate you guys on what this team is. Cowboys lose 31-14 in a very horrendous game. My God, this game sucked. Absolutely sucked. Bears humiliate Dallas. Question, does this team suck? Flat out. Does this team suck? Y'all tell me. Aiden says Cowboys didn't come ready to play. Simple as that. They look like a 6-win team. I kind of agree with you, Aiden. He also says Green Bay just losing is going to kill y'all Sunday night. They will be ready. Yeah. Especially with them losing, there's no sense of, oh, man, Green Bay's going to let one slip against Dallas. No, they let one slip today against Cleveland. They'll be coming ready on Sunday Night Football. Getting to the more comments. Adrian's in here. What's up, Adrian? Adrian says knee-jerk reaction. Eberflus does not get on the plane back to Dallas. Ooh, you know I love some good knee-jerks. You know I love some good hot takes. Jerry Jones is too prideful to fire Eberflus right now. Jerry Jones is too prideful to fire him right now. Won't happen. If Jerry Jones fires Eberflus, he admits that he was wrong. And guess what? Jerry Jones will never admit he's wrong. He's going to let this thing ride out. There's no freaking way Jerry Jones would fire Matt Eberflus. Antonio says we need help on that line and secondary. He also says that Micah Parsons trade is haunting us big time right now. Yeah, Antonio, you're right. You think? I absolutely think so. They need help on the line. They need help in the linebacking core. They need help in the secondary. They need help in this entire freaking defense. You got 11 spares out there. Spares. Name me a dude. Name me a dude on that defense right now. A guy you know is going to come in every single week and absolutely perform. Name me a dude on that defense. Name me. I'm waiting. They ain't got nobody. Cowboys ain't got nobody on that side of the ball that's worth a damn right now. Trayvon Diggs included. He ain't worth a damn. Trayvon Diggs, soft. Gets hurt on a tackle. Something that he's very reluctant to do. Ironically, gets hurt when he makes a tackle. Figure that. Damn, bro, you can tell I'm kind of frustrated right now. Cowboys lose 31-14. Get your takes in here right now. Cowboys post-game show. Going to be going for a couple more minutes. Aaron Garcia. What's up, Aaron? Aaron says Cowboys suck. Diggs sucks. Consistently gets torched. Well, there we go. This team right now sucks. This team right now is horrible. And I don't have any faith going forward. I think after next Sunday night, you could be looking at 1-3. I really do believe after next Sunday night, you could be looking at a 1-3 Dallas Cowboys team after they play against the Packers next week. Man, tough times. Biggest takeaways from Bears versus Cowboys. What is your biggest takeaway? I'll let y'all guys get those ones in. What are your biggest takeaways? I'm going to go through some of the stats real quick. Let's look at some of these team stats. I'm always interested to look at the team stats post-game. Let's look at the Cowboys. Okay, hey, Cowboys put up 396 yards. Awesome. 2 touchdowns to show for it. They averaged 5.9 yards per play in this game. Passing, 275. Dak had 251 of those with 2 interceptions. Rushing, 121 yards rushing. I will say this about the rushing attack. I think if you want to take anything away from this game, is that when the Cowboys are able to run the ball and be ahead of the chains, they're pretty effective. Javonte Williams has had himself a pretty good start to the season. He had 10 carries, of course. Cowboys didn't rush the ball
practically at all late in the game because they were down. They had to resort to be a passing team, one-dimensional, which is something the Cowboys always struggle at. But Javonte Williams, 10 carries, 76 yards, 7.6 per average. I like that. He runs hard. He runs physical. I think the Javonte Williams signing, I'll give Jerry credit for that one. That was a good one. It's working out so far. Even Miles Sanders looked pretty decent. 41 yards, 9 carries, 4.6 average. So I think the Cowboys running game overall, 20 carries, 121 today, 6.1 average, that can work. I have encouraging thoughts about the Cowboys defense. Jake Ferguson, 13 receptions, 82 yards, 6.3 average. Yeah, Jake Ferguson, I mean, he's a security blanket. He might have himself a Pro Bowl type season if he's getting consistent numbers like this, because last week he had a really good game as well against the Giants. Who knows? Jake Ferguson could be a bright spot. Pickens, 1 touchdown catch, 5 for 68 yards, and of course a crucial dropped ball that led to an interception. Not great. Pickens was slamming his head on his freaking helmet on the sideline. He's a crazy ass dude, man. George Pickens drives me insane sometimes, dude. Drives me insane. There's gonna be one George Pickens moment every freaking game. And the moment this week was the dropped pass that led to an interception. One every game. Count it for George Pickens. Aaron, or let's go back here. Let me scroll up a little bit more. I might have missed some of you guys who got in here. Raul says, shout out to my guy, Raul. Raul says, I feel bad for Dak. Just feels like we're wasting another year of whatever he's got left in the tank. It's very similar to the later years of Tony Romo, especially when you think about the 2013 year of Tony Romo, where Tony Romo was playing at an all-pro level. Tony Romo was one of the top quarterbacks in the league that year, but they didn't have a defense, and they were in shootouts. And I believe the Cowboys finished 8-8 that year, and they lost the last regular season game to make the playoffs. And then, of course, you go back to 2014, where Tony Romo then came back next year and had himself an MVP caliber type season. But the Cowboys, of course, improved their defense in the offseason because they saw how bad it was in 2013. This is feeling very 2013 Dallas Cowboys. It really is. A team with no defense, an offense that can score, and hoping for shootouts and hoping to outscore, opponents left and right. That's what it feels like right now to me. Cowboys lose 31-14. If you have any more final thoughts and comments, I'm going to wrap this up in about 2 minutes. So make sure to get anything else in. I appreciate you watching the Cowboys postgame show with me, James Espinosa, host of the Sunday Sports Rush on News Talk KEYS and MIC Sports Network, where we do our damn thing every Thursday and Friday night with Texas high school football. All right. Aaron says red zone play call to throw the ball. Should have gave Williams the ball. Okay, that's a questionable one. Yeah. I believe that led to the Dak interception. Aiden also says 2020 Cowboys 2 before Dak's injury. Yeah, same thing. Horrible defense. And then they come back the next year with an improved defense. It's cyclical with these guys. They think they could shop out of the damn bargain bin and hope that the toys from Dollar Tree don't break after 5 uses. That's what the Cowboys do. They bargain bin shop. They go to Dollar Tree. They go to Dollar General. They do all that crap. They get some cheap toys, some cheap players, and they hope that they could plug them in, and they hope it can work. And then when they see, hey, these guys who we got on the cheap aren't that good. Nah, you think? Then they come back the next offseason and try to improve it. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, freaking repeat. But hey, that's our general manager for you. The best general manager in all of pro football, Jerry Jones. Aaron's in here. Positive note. Yes. Give me some positives. Please, someone feed me positives. Javonte Williams was a positive today. Cowboys run game was a positive today. He says Javonte and Miles Sanders, positive. Jake Ferguson, positive. Yes. Give me reps for Brevin Spann-Ford. Yes, Brevin Spann-Ford, really good in the run block game, and he had that nice athletic catch at the end where he hurdled a dude. That was pretty cool. He says outside of that, nothing. And Pickens minus the drop. Aaron likes the analogy of Dollar Tree and Dollar General. I mean, yeah, man, it's bargain bin shopping. It's going to Walmart and buying a dollar DVD. I don't know. You name it, that's what the Cowboys do. Bargain bin shop at their best. Antonio says more like Harbor Freight. Yeah, okay. Any type of non-name brand type of store, that's where the Cowboys shop. And that's where we're at. 31-14, Cowboys lose. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Cowboys therapy session, man. I got to do this every week for you. And I appreciate y'all guys getting in. Appreciate the comments. If you could share and like this video, that'd be absolutely fantastic. It would help me out a lot. Instant reactions, man. There was not a lot to like. There was a lot to, of course, look at. And over the course of the next week, there's going to be a lot to dissect. And the Cowboys better be ready for the Packers next Sunday night, or it's going to be... It might be a little bit uglier than this, man. 31-14, the Bears absolutely humiliate Dallas in Chicago. Cowboys fall to 1-3 or 1-2 on the season. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. They fall to 1-2 on the season. The Bears pick up their first win. They are now 1-2. The defense, horrendous. I have no faith in this defense. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. No pass rush. Where are they? Where are they? Where was Sam Williams? Where was Marshawn Nealon? Where were they at? Where were those two guys at? Where was James Houston? Where was Dante Fowler? Where were they at? Freaking milk carton game for all four of them. Milk cartons for all four of them. Missing in action. Not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. Cowboys fall 31-14 to the Bears. I'm going to wrap this up right now. Another Cowboys humiliating defensive effort. This time, they get their asses handed to them by the Bears, 31-14. All right, guys, I'm going to end this one right here. Love you all. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Another Cowboys post-game show coming next week. I am James Espinosa. Make sure to listen to the Sunday Sports Rush every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. News Talk KUIS 1440 AM, 98.7 FM, and catch me on the MIC Sports Network Thursday and Friday nights for our football coverage. MICSportsNetwork.com. You'll find our games for absolutely free. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Cowboys lose 31-14. Whew. All right, man. We'll do this next week. See ya.